From chilling acts of violence to baffling mysteries, prepare to be shocked, disturbed, and perhaps even haunted by these tales of darkness. Today, we're delving into history to uncover 10 horrific crimes that have remained largely hidden from the public eye. Get your souls and minds ready as we dive into this world of murder and gruesome crimes. Number 10. The Cheshire Family Murders. In 2007, a tragic incident occurred that forever changed the lives of the Pettit family. Jennifer Hawk Pettit and her 2 teenage daughters were brutally assaulted and lost their lives in their Connecticut home. Dr. William Pettit's father was injured, but he miraculously managed to escape with his life just moments before the perpetrators set fire to the house. During the incident, Jennifer and her 17-year-old daughter Haley were at a grocery store when 2 paroled burglars, Joshua Komanasarjevsky and Stephen Hayes, specifically targeted their family. They were relentlessly pursued and subjected to unimaginable suffering before their lives were tragically taken. Tragically, Haley and her 11-year-old sister, Michaela, lost their lives due to smoke inhalation, while Jennifer met a heartbreaking fate through strangulation. The details of the crime are truly heartbreaking. It is difficult to comprehend how the police, despite being aware that the family was being held hostage, prioritized securing the street instead of immediately entering the home to assist them. The killers were initially sentenced to death, but later their punishment was changed to life imprisonment. This decision came about as Connecticut abolished capital punishment in 2012. Number 9. The Polite German Cannibal. Armin Mewis gained notoriety as a German individual who became infamously known as the Rottenburg Cannibal or the Polite Cannibal, due to his horrifying act of killing and consuming a man he had encountered on the internet. Mewis had spent years in search of a willing victim until he finally came across Bernd-Jürgen Brands, a man who was open to the idea of being killed and consumed. The 2 men met at Mewis' home, where Brands willingly consented to the removal and consumption of his own penis by Mewis. Following this, Brands tragically lost his life and was consumed by Mewis over an extended period of time. Mewis was ultimately convicted and received a life sentence in prison. Mewis experienced a challenging upbringing as his father left him at a young age, leaving his mother to raise him alone. Mewis shared with police experts that his fascination with cannibalism, which stemmed from the fairy tale Hansel and Gretel, began to take shape during his teenage years. The unique situation has posed challenges for German lawmakers, who have come to realize that cannibalism is not considered a criminal offense in Germany. It is said that Mewis expresses remorse for his actions and has expressed a desire to collaborate with his victim's family on a biography. He has been granted temporary release from prison for a few short, closely monitored outings, donning sunglasses and a cap to safeguard his anonymity. Number 8. The Murder of Sylvia Likens. The tragic and heart-wrenching murder of Sylvia Likens continues to haunt Indiana even after more than 50 years. In 1965, police officers discovered the lifeless body of a 16-year-old, Likens, resting on a grimy mattress. Tragically, she bore the scars of over 150 burns and cuts. From the very beginning, it was evident that the young girl had succumbed to starvation, her frail body a mere shadow of what it should have been. It was later discovered that her cause of death was a brain hemorrhage and malnutrition. Gertrude Bainzewski, a mother of 7, was taken into custody and accused of committing first-degree murder. Likens' parents had entrusted Bainzewski with the responsibility of taking care of her and their other daughter, Jenny, for which they paid her $20 a week. In a truly heartbreaking turn of events, Bainzewski tragically allowed her own children to subject Likens to unimaginable cruelty, including physical abuse and the degrading act of forcing her to consume feces, according to attorney Natty Bumpo. Many individuals have drawn parallels between this situation and Lord of the Flies. Number 7. Richard Speck's slaughter. Richard Speck's horrific actions at South Chicago Community Hospital had a profound and lasting impact on the city of Chicago. On July 14, 1966, Speck attacked the nurses for 5 hours, leading them without resistance. Speck was so absorbed in the killing spree that he failed to notice one of his hostages hiding under a bunk bed until the massacre had ended. After that, she quickly leaped out of a window and sprinted away to save herself. The only thing the victim could remember about Speck was his tattoo that said, "Born to raise hell." 2 days later, the individual arrived at Cook County Hospital after attempting suicide, and a doctor identified their tattoo from news reports. The assistant Cook County District Attorney described the sadistic attacks as the first random mass murder of the 20th century. It truly marked the conclusion of a time characterized by innocence. It had a profound impact on everything. We all gained a heightened awareness of our security. 8 nurses may have been tragically killed in their sleep by an unknown assailant. Number 6. The Bloody Benders. The Bender family, also known as the Bloody Benders, were a family of serial killers in Labette County, Kansas, United States, during a period spanning from May 1871 to December 1872. The family included John Bender, his wife Elvira or Elmira, their son John Jr., and their daughter Kate. However, the Benders were not truly a family, as the only ones who were related by blood were Ma and Kate. However, a few of their neighbors argued that John and Kate were a common-law marriage. The Benders had a reputation for enticing travelers on their inn, where they would commit heinous acts and conceal their victims on their premises. The situation became clear when a group of vigilantes conducted a thorough search of their property and discovered the incriminating evidence. The Benders were allegedly involved in 11 murders that took place between 1870 and 1873. However, they managed to evade capture. Number 5. Kermit Gosnell's abortions. Kermit Gosnell operated a clinic in West Philadelphia where he performed late-term abortions in unsanitary and unsafe conditions. He has been the owner of the medical center since 1979, and there have been complaints against his practice for many years. In 2011, Gosnell was arrested for the alleged murder of 7 infants who initially survived his initial abortion attempts but tragically lost their lives thereafter. Gosnell, who did not meet the qualifications to be an obstetrician or gynecologist, was found to be charging up to $3,000 for each late-term abortion, according to a grand jury. His staff members provided testimony against him, recounting their observations of infants exhibiting movement or crying following the procedure. The accounts of how he subsequently ended their lives are profoundly disturbing. Gosnell was found guilty of 3 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of involuntary manslaughter, 21 felony counts of illegal late-term abortion, and 211 counts of violating the 24-hour informed consent law. He received a life sentence with no chance of parole. Number 4. The Monster of Miramichi. Alan Joseph Laguerre, also known as the Monster of Miramichi, was a notorious criminal in Canada involved in acts of rape, arson, and serial killings. He was found guilty of the murder of 5 individuals, along with charges of arson and rape. On June 21, 1986, Laguerre committed his first murder by killing John Glendinning, a store owner in the town of Newcastle, New Brunswick. Laguerre remained at large for a span of 7 months, during which he carried out a few more murders in the towns of Chatham, Newcastle, and nearby areas. On May 29, 1989, he committed a murder and also assaulted Flam's sister. On October 13th, he tragically took the lives of sisters Linda and Donna Donnie. Laguerre burned down the Donnie home before departing. On November 16th, he took the life of Father James Smith. Laguerre was captured a few days later, on November 24th, and received a life sentence with no chance of parole for 25 years. Laguerre managed to evade capture after escaping from prison in 1989, but was eventually apprehended several months later. Laguerre passed away while in custody at the age of 67 in 2015. Number 3. Toy Box Killer's Torture Room. In 1999, the disturbing torture chamber of David Ray Parker, also known as the Toy Box Killer, was discovered. He is believed to have abducted, tortured, and killed approximately 60 individuals in New Mexico. A significant number of the bodies remain unrecovered, as they were dismembered and disposed of in undisclosed areas. The last person he targeted was fortunate enough to survive after enduring 3 days of horrific torment. The police officers who arrived at the scene of the crime found a truck trailer that was soundproof. Inside, they discovered various surgical instruments and a gynecology table with restraints, indicating that it was equipped for torturing victims. Parker also recorded the torture of his victim, displaying a complete lack of remorse for his heinous acts. He callously stated, "Creating these tapes was a form of entertainment for me." Ultimately, justice was not served for his victims, as Parker passed away from a heart attack in 2002 before he could start serving his 223-year prison sentence. Number 3. White Boy Rick. Richard Wershey Jr., also known as White Boy Rick, has a past as a drug dealer and FBI informant. Wershey got caught up in drug trafficking in Detroit back in the 1980s and was arrested at the age of 17 for cocaine possession. Wershey was listed as an FBI informant at the young age of 14. He played a crucial role in exposing a corrupt group of Detroit police officers and a series of gang members. Wershey received a life sentence in 1988 for drug trafficking, with no possibility of parole. Wershey's story is the focus of the 2018 film White Boy Rick, featuring Matthew McConaughey. Wershey alleges that he was groomed by the FBI and Detroit police to become a drug informant. only to be betrayed when he was later arrested for cocaine. Wershey has been diligently working to clear his name and was finally released from prison in 2020 after serving a lengthy 32-year sentence. Number 1. The Toronto Killer. Bruce McArthur, a Canadian serial killer, committed the heinous act of murdering 8 men in Toronto's gay village from 2010 to 2017. McArthur had experience working as a mall Santa Claus and running his own landscaping business. He was taken into custody on January 18, 2018, and faced charges of 8 counts of first-degree murder. McArthur admitted to all 8 counts of first-degree murder on January 29, 2019, and received a life sentence with no chance of parole for 25 years. The majority of his victims were immigrants from the Middle East or South Asia, with a significant number belonging to the LGBTQ+ community in Toronto. McArthur concealed human remains through his landscaping business, resulting in the discovery of 8 bodies buried in different locations linked to him. Which of these crimes shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more spine-tingling videos. Make sure to like this video. Thanks for watching!